So if you put these 5 things together, you can't use money to lure talent away from the for-profit sector. You can't spend anywhere near the amount of money the for-profit sector does on advertising to get new customers. You can't take the kinds of risks in pursuit of those customers that the for-profit sector can. You don't have the same amount of time to produce results that the for-profit sector does, and you don't have a stock market. Well, you just put the nonprofit sector at the most unspeakably extreme disadvantage to the for-profit sector on every level, and then we call the whole system charity, as if there's something really sweet about it, you know? I mean, charity, real charity, grace, could not be undermined with more reverence paid to the notion of something noble. And if we have any doubt about the effects of these statistics, these separate rule books, this number is sobering. Since 1970, the number of nonprofit organizations that have crossed the $50 million annual revenue barrier is 144. The number of for-profits that have crossed it is 46,136. 90% of the nonprofit organizations in the United States have budgets less than $500,000. Only 1% have budgets greater than $10 million. So we're dealing with social problems, totally massive in scale, and our organizations can't develop any scale, any meaningful scale. All of the scale goes to Coca-Cola and to Burger King. So why do we think this way? I mean, we don't intend not to make a difference. Why would we have a system that works, that fundamentally obstructs us? Well, when I first wrote the book, I only had one sentence in there addressing this, and I had grown up in New England. I knew that Puritan mindset. This all just felt really Puritan to me, and so I said, these ideas come from old Puritan constructs. And my agent challenged me, and she said, how do you actually know that? And I sort of died inside, and I said, oh God, now I'm going to have to prove this. And I spent the next 6 months reading these narcolepsy-inducing books on the early Puritan settlers to New England. And I slept very well during this period. And the long and short of it was fascinating. The Puritans came to the New World for religious reasons, yes. But they also came here because they wanted to make a lot of money. They were very aggressive capitalists. They formed the Massachusetts Bay Colony as a corporation. They were accused of extreme forms of profit-making tendencies by the other colonists. John Winthrop, the first governor of Massachusetts who wrote the famous sermon, a model of Christian charity, all over his journal and his partners' journals are predictions about how much profit they would make in all of the trade that they were going to do in the New World. But at the same time, the Puritans were Calvinists. So they were taught literally to hate themselves. They were taught that self-interest was a raging sea that was a sure path to eternal damnation. Well, this created a real problem for these people, right? Here they come, they want to make all of this money. They're these aggressive capitalists. Making all this money will get you sent permanently, immediately, and directly to hell. What were they to do about this? Well, charity became their answer. It became this economic sanctuary where they could do penance for their profit-making tendencies. So, of course, how could you make money in charity if charity was your penance for making money? And they created these two economic worlds where there was really only ever one. And the merchants and the farmers and the carpenters of the world got free market practice. And the needy and all those who wanted to help them, who were mostly women, by the way, got this religion whereby everything that worked in the market was pretty much banished. And we're stuck with that system today, 400 years later. Self-deprivation has not been abandoned as the path to social change. It is pretty much the road still prescribed.